Were those weapons left there? Was that a mistake, or was it left intentionally?
I haven't seen the reporting on these to verify what you've said about weapons left in Afghanistan participate or being used to.
21 soldiers that were killed in Pakistan. The weapons that the Taliban used were the weapons that the U.S. left in Afghanistan.
Okay.
The goggles.
I haven't seen those reports, but let me remind you, please, take the opportunity to remind you, we didn't just leave a bunch of weapons in Afghanistan. This is a fallacy. This is a farce. The arms that you're talking about, and again, I can't verify these specific reports, belong to the Afghan National Security Forces. That's what was left behind. Not that the United States just walked away and abandoned a bunch of weapons in a pile in Afghanistan. That's just simply not historically accurate. Thanks, everybody.
Speaking of Tehran, has the U.S.'s assessment of Iran's direct involvement or any direct involvement in any of these attacks changed?
All I can tell you is what I've said before. I mean, they are certainly providing the means, the tools, the capabilities, the weapons through which the Houthis are conducting these attacks. The Houthis may be pulling the trigger, but as I've said, Iran's giving them the guns.
Is President Biden committed to getting Lieutenant Alconis home to his family before Christmas?
I think I want to be careful here. I don't get too much into what is still a legal process. So I think to be safe, I'm going to refer you to the Justice Department on his particular case.
In 2012, the Supreme Court upheld the rule that the federal government, not individual states, have the authority to decide who gets into the country. But this is now obviously a more conservative court. I mean, are you concerned that the position may now be changed, that a conservative court could use this to revisit?
And what I said at the top when I was asked this question by Chris is that the law is incredibly extreme, and it does not make communities in Texas safer. It just does not. It dehumanizes, which is what Republicans tend to do. Certain Republicans tend to do is dehumanize immigrants and also demonize them, and that's what we're seeing here.
There's been criticism from the left and the right that the White House could have gotten involved on this specific issue of border security and immigration sooner, and not as actively as it has in the last 10 days. What's the response of the White House to that?
Well, look, as far as timing and engagement, look, the president has taken this very seriously. You've heard me say this over and over and over again, ad nauseum probably, on the first day of this administration. Almost 3 years ago, the president put forth a comprehensive immigration proposal. That's how serious he took it. And 3 years, Congress did not act. They did not act on this. And they've just let this process languish for 3 years. And so, and Republicans, they completely got in the way, opposed. They've done everything that they can to get in the way of the president actually wanting to address this issue that we're seeing at the border. So this is something, his first piece of legislation was dealing with the broken system that we're seeing in the immigration.
After negotiations of the supplemental, obviously migration is an important part of that. Where are we at that?
So look, the president has been very clear, right? This is why on his first day in office, he put forth a comprehensive immigration legislation, and he took this very seriously. And we think that we're headed in the right direction.